My name is Daniel Downs. I'm the Director of Digital Learning in North Reading Public Schools. I'm here with Kathy Dasho, who is a K-12 Digital Learning Specialist, and this is our podcast on K-12 robotics topics for the month of April 2018. So what we're going to cover in the next 10 minutes or so is we're going to cover the first robotics platform for K1 and grades 2 through 5. We're also going to talk about how Coderz and the Carnegie Mellon Video Trainer can be used in your classroom. So the very first topic I'd like to talk about is that we recently had a visit from Vinnie Rodino from First Robotics, whose main location is up in Manchester, New Hampshire, and he met with us around how we could potentially implement K1 and grades 2 through 5 FIRST programs embedded within our curriculum. So we had a good conversation with him and our team about looking at how we could potentially get funding for this program and also look at how we could fit it within our curriculum. We also had discussions with their curriculum specialist around some of the connections to the Common Core standards and also the National Science standards. And one of the great things he was able to do was provide us with a Lego WeDO basic set that we could explore amongst our team and share and talk about potentially how that could be implemented into our current curriculum. With a range of robotics platforms, it would be nice to have something consistent that all our teachers and students are working on in the 4th grade is what we were thinking. And along the lines of that same conversation, Vinnie brought to us that FIRST is also offering a grant to school districts for piloting a K1 curriculum using a Lego Duplo model. It's a little different than the Lego League for the grades 2 through 5. And the Lego Duplo model, the pilot is Lego is having some grants for districts that have a certain percentage of free and reduced lunch students that are going to be able to take advantage of that pilot. And also as long as they're open to having some research done in the classroom in terms of the success of that pilot. Even though we may not have the numbers to support that, we're still considering how we could integrate the K1 program into our elementary schools, because it's very exciting to have Lego Duplo and the curriculum that comes along with it from FIRST. And it also starts those conversations in North Reading for us around looking to streamline the FIRST programs grades 2 through 5 within a trimester. So we're really at the very beginning stages of looking at this. And what I'll do is in the bottom of this video, I'll add some notes with the YouTube video that kind of introduces the Lego WeDO from FIRST. Some of the highlights are that it aligns with the Common Core and National Science standards, but it also allows students to explore robotics, in that very early age of K1, and also depending on what your school can implement, grades 2 through 5 with a curriculum that goes beyond just robotics classroom with its challenges. So it's a great opportunity. And what I would say is, if you want more information about this, you want to contact Vinnie Rodino, who is Director of School Engagement for First Robotics out of Manchester, New Hampshire, vrodino@firstinspires.org. I can leave that information at the bottom of the video as well. So I have Kathy Dasho here, who's one of our amazing K-12 digital learning specialists who has worked great with many different types of robotics platforms over her career. How many years have you been teaching robotics, Kathy?
Thank you, Dan, for that wonderful intro. I was thinking that while I was sitting here. I think I've been teaching robotics at least about 9 years now. We actually started here in North Reading with the NXTs, graduated to the EV3s, and in the high school now we're doing Vex. And what I wanted to talk about a little bit was when I first started way back with the NXTs, I actually started out with a product called the Carnegie Mellon Video Trainer, which if you're a beginning teacher and robotics seems a little bit intimidating to you, it's a great way to organize yourself those first few years. It's available for Lego EV3 and Vex robots since NXT is basically discontinued by Lego now. It costs $499. However, it does provide many videos that you can use as part of your lesson. It provides your own lesson plans, rubrics, questions, and a complete teacher guide. So when I was getting started way back in the days of NXT, I found it to be a very useful tool. You can use it in conjunction with the existing Lego or Vex curriculum. So personally, I would recommend it. I've used it. I've used it now for NXT, EV3, and Vex, and I find it a big help in the classroom. Second thing I'd like to talk about is if your particular district does not have a budget for physical robot kits, Coderz is a cloud-based alternative to the physical robots. It allows you to have a trial if you want to just test it out. It's all cloud-based on the web robot simulator that allows your students to go through tutorials. It contains lessons for you as a teacher and also quizzes. The wonderful thing about it is it's a split screen. If your kids are familiar with Scratch, they will migrate to Coderz extremely easily. It has the block-based coding. If you then want to advance it to the older grades, even maybe late middle school, high school, you can also split the screen and have the blocks convert into Java. So it is a great way for kids to start to learn Java programming. So those are two really good products if you're just getting into the robotics curriculum. We have the Video Trainer from Carnegie Mellon and also Coderz.
What would you say with the Carnegie Mellon training, how does it go beyond what you're usually provided with those platforms?
Basically, the introduction, at least with EV3, it gives the kids real-world videos. So the kids get to see robots in a real-world setting. So not only do they get to see it on a video, the challenges are tied to a real-world function, such as, oh my God, let me think. I always do this. Let me think for a minute.
I know with the Vex EDR, they go into CAD, and with Carnegie Mellon, it's a little smoother transition into more challenge-based.
It's definitely like with EV3, it's challenge-based challenges, but they still give you the rubrics and they still give you quizzes. There's always questions to ask at the end, at the end of every video. After you show the video, there are questions. Whether you want to ask them in class or you could actually use them as a quiz. They're really useful.
And with Coderz is a great tool that you can really start in probably as low as 4th or 5th grade if you really wanted to. Virtual robotics, we'll include the link as well to Coderz. We kind of came across Coderz from, we invited Chris Salisbury from Intellitek to kind of showcase the product at our STEAM day in our school. And he came down and did a great interactive display with the students who were able to log in. Another big thing you forget to mention about Coderz sometimes is that it's good on Chromebooks as well as desktop computers. So students can actually do virtual robotics on a Chromebook, or you can have just a certain number of robots that you're downloading programs to, and so you can kind of get that blended environment between working with the students on their programming skills and at a range of levels, and then also enabling them to have the hands-on experience with the robots, but they don't have to be done at the same time. So I think that's a huge advantage to a teacher who is working with different groups of kids at different levels, that if they wanted to specify out the skills, they could do that as well. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Kathy, for chiming in and sitting in with us today. So that's a couple of topics for K-12 robotics topics for April 2018. Thank you for listening, and when you get a chance, check out the links that we will include at the bottom of this video.